Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into the world of home building with KB Home. We'll be looking at a recent filing that reveals details about their annual meeting, where some votes were cast, decisions made, and a few things might have surprised you about who's in charge. It's like peeking behind the curtain to see how this company really works. This document is called a Form 8K, which companies file to announce major events. In this case, it's all about the results of KB Home's annual meeting that happened in April of 2025. These meetings are where shareholders or the owners of the company get to vote on important matters like electing the board of directors and executive pay. Basically, this section tells us what happened at the meeting and how people voted on different proposals. It gives us a clear view of what the shareholders think about the company's leadership and direction. First up, we have the election of directors. These are the people who oversee the company's strategy and make big decisions. The document lists each person who was nominated and how many votes they received. It looks like all the nominees were elected, but let's see how the votes broke down. Were they overwhelming victories or were some closer than others? For Jose Barra, he got over 58 million votes for him, which is about 95%. Around 2.8 million votes were against, meaning people didn't want him on the board. There were also some abstentions where people didn't express an opinion either way. It's worth noting that there were also what's called broker non-votes. These are votes that brokers holding shares for clients didn't cast because they didn't receive instructions from their clients. This can happen when shareholders don't vote directly but leave it to their brokers. Arthur Collins got around 58.3 million votes in favour, which translates to about 94.8%. He had about 3.2 million votes against. Now let's jump to a director with almost unanimous support. Doreen Dominguez had a landslide victory with over 61.4 million votes, which is almost 99.9% of the votes. She only had a small number of votes against her. James Weaver received 58.1 million votes, which is 94.4%, and 3.4 million votes against. Next, we have the vote on executive compensation. This is where shareholders get to give their opinion on how much the top executives are being paid. It's important to note that this vote is advisory, meaning the board doesn't have to follow it, but it does give them a sense of what the shareholders think. Here, about 53.9 million voted to approve the compensation, which is 87.6%, but about 7.2 million voted against it, which is 11.7%. This is a pretty significant number of votes against, suggesting that some shareholders aren't happy with the executive pay packages. Finally, there was a vote to approve Ernst & Young as the company's independent auditor. These are the folks who check the company's financial statements to make sure everything is accurate. In this case, over 64.4 million voted in favour, which is 97.8%. Only 1.4 million voted against. So it looks like shareholders overwhelmingly support having Ernst & Young as the auditor. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Based on these votes, KB Home appears to have strong support from its shareholders. The directors were all elected, and the appointment of Ernst & Young was ratified without much opposition. However, the vote on executive compensation is a bit of a yellow flag. While the proposal passed, the significant number of votes against it suggests some shareholders feel the executives are being overpaid. This could lead to pressure on the company to change its compensation practices in the future. One potential risk for KB Home is the housing market itself. Rising interest rates, economic uncertainty, and changing demographics could all impact demand for new homes. If the housing market slows down, KB Home could face challenges in selling its homes and maintaining its profitability. Overall, KB Home seems to be in a stable position, but the executive compensation vote and the external risks in the housing market are worth keeping an eye on. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Let us know in the comments which company you'd like us to decode next.